Welcome to the vlog. Building an app is like building a business. You first come up with the basic idea for your app or for your business, then you build it. Once you've made your app live or you got your business up and running, you're going to get user response. And then when you get your user response, what's inevitably is going to happen, whether it's an app or a business, you're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to update according to that user response. It's really rare that your first iteration of the app or your first iteration of the business is going to be the one that works. In fact, it hardly ever happens. It's a myth. It's a myth that when you come up with a business, you're going to come up with the original idea and go, this is it and it's perfect. It's like Facebook. Zuckerberg himself said that in his development of the Facebook app, it went through many iterations, many changes, and he had no idea what the end product was going to look like. He never did. You never do. I've seen it outside of app development as well. I've seen it in my non-tech businesses where I had an array of products, several different products, and then you would think that product A was going to sell really well. But it turns out it's product D that sells really well and product A doesn't sell at all. You never know. That's the thing. An expression I came up with when I was like 22, I used to tell people, when I'm 100% sure that this business idea is going to do well, I figure my real chances are about 10%. When I'm 100% sure, I probably got a 10% chance. And you're going to see that with apps as well. When you first deploy an app, a website, and you start getting user response to it, if you're on the right track, you'll get some sort of response. Then you're going to have to make tons of changes. Studio Web, my interactive training app, is very, 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 very different from what it was originally conceived to be. And in fact, it's got so much legacy code in there that's not being used anymore that for Studio Web 4, which we're working on now, it is a total rewrite from scratch because the code over the years, several developers, many changes based on user feedback, it's just gotten to the point where the app is too much to maintain because of that legacy. So we're rewriting from scratch to have a nice clean implementation. So I'm very excited about that. And this is not uncommon. Mac OS, I think it was originally written Pascal or something. I forget the language. But anyway, it was terrible at one point in terms of its usability. It's multitasking. If you wanted to switch apps, you had to restart. It was just like a disaster. So Steve Jobs made the decision that they were going to scrap the old Mac OS, and they rebuilt Mac OS fresh off of a Unix backbone, FreeBSD in fact. So, and that took a couple of years to refine it and get it up to speed, but it was a good decision because the original Mac OS was based on an architecture that was way out of date and it just couldn't handle modern day computing. And there was no way to rescue it. They patched it to its extreme and it was done. Same thing with Studio Web. Studio Web is pretty much bug-free, works really well, but it's kind of like OS 9 and in the sense that it's at its end of life, so I've had to retire it. So going back to the original point of this vlog, the myth is that when you do build an app or you build a business, that the idea that you come up with is going to be perfection or it's going to be near perfection. Chances are it's never the case. So you have to expect you're going to be doing many, many iterations. And I think the bottom line means that when you do go out there with your business or your app, you have to prototype quick and dirty. Prototype quick and dirty so that you can get the app into the hands of your users. You can get the business out into the marketplace and see if it has any viability whatsoever. And this is the key to being a successful app developer. This is the key, well, one of the keys to being a successful entrepreneur. All right, we'll talk soon.